Hello.
Hey, big guy, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Living the dream. Do you enjoy my hat?
Yes, I do. Of course.
Just for you tonight, Big Cheese.
Retro. I like it.
Just for you.
Thank you for downloading our recent episode. For more episodes like this, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com for more episodes. Enjoy the show.
We are nothing but completionist. I think I kind of dragged Eric to review this one, but we had to because we reviewed the other ones. So today we are reviewing, Venom: The Last Dance. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
If we are completionists and we need to do all this, then I guess we also need to do A Quiet Place Day One.
Mm-hmm. Been on the schedule.
It's been on schedule. Okay.
It was on the schedule. You told me to take it on.
Yeah. Okay.
That was during Christmas time when we were choosing wrong movies.
Still not excited to see that one, but
no.
Just like I'm not excited to see this one. Here we are.
Yeah. See, I don't know why you're not, right? Because I went back and looked. I didn't listen, but I went back and looked at our review. I mean, we did not give these anything higher than a medium.
Okay.
Right?
You want me to go off my rant early here?
I mean, you can if you feel like it. I mean,
I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
I am not looking forward to this because Sony has completely just been missing the mark and just been really screwing up superhero movies. I mean, for the longest time, they just are fumbling the bag. And I feel like the difference between Sony and Marvel is that Marvel is, and the reason why they're so successful is that they are so focused on creating the story, on the artistry and telling what needs to be told. Whereas Sony is just a bunch of executives behind, their table and looking at this and saying, all right, well, analytics say that we should do this and this and this. Do it. So, sir, we don't have a script yet. Who cares? We're going to do it. And I hate it. So I think the big part of it is what they tried to do is do this build. So after they started doing Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, right? So the first one, Andrew Garfield had pretty good success, and it was a pretty decent movie. I'll say that, actually.
I enjoyed it.
I think, again, Sony gets so money hungry because they just suck at what they do that when they made the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they filled that thing with villains, right? And they tried to set that thing up for Sinister Six, but that movie bombed, and so they canned it. They owned, or still do, own a lot of the IP for Spider-Man. Okay?
Right.
They own a lot of it. And I think after that, when they saw the success from Marvel, and they wanted to get on that train, because obviously Spider-Man is a Marvel hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was that big back and forth about how they wanted to do it. Eventually, Marvel made their deal and made Spider-Man, right? Homecoming.
Yeah, Marvel did. Yeah.
After being in Civil War. And these movies did so well. All three of the Spider-Man movies did fantastic. The last one, was it Far From Home or No Way Home?
No Way Home.
Way Home. It hit $1 billion.
Yeah, you and I gave it a great review.
And they're planning on to do Spider-Man 4 as well, too. I think that because of that, Sony was foaming at the mouth. They was like, oh, Spider-Man's doing great, but they have this contract with Marvel still, right?
Right.
So they can't really, they have to be very selective about when they use Spider-Man. But they thought, oh, well, we can put out movies that are spin-offs, and just as long as they're affiliated with Spider-Man, people will go see them.
Sure.
And they did, and they sucked, and they sucked real bad, bud. The first Venom movie that came out did pretty well, right?
Yeah, well, that was like 16, right?
Yeah, it was 2018.
18. You and I reviewed that one, and we gave that a solid medium.
Yes, yeah, it did pretty well, and I'm trying to find the budget on that one. It did almost $1 billion.
It did. I can get.
But that's when Sony was just like, oh, all right, green light, let it fly, everything, boom, 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 green light. As long as it's adjacent to Spider-Man, then we're gonna go. Unbeknownst to them, because they're not comic book minded, that Venom is a beloved character on his own, right? He doesn't need to be Spider-Man adjacent. He is just popular in his own right. Everyone likes Venom because he has a crazy story. So after that, Sony did the second Venom, Let There Be Carnage, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
that one did not perform as well as the first one, although still did like a half a billion there. So the first one did like 850 million
Right.
on like $100 million budget.
Right.
The next one did like $100 million budget and made like 500 million.
Mhm.
Okay. This last one is even worse. It's another $120 million budget and it made a
Well,
hundred and gross worldwide. It's short of 500, but
mhm.
domestically it did 140 million.
Right. They still made their money back. Still
Barely.
profitable.
You want to talk about their bombs then? Morbius,
Yeah.
Madam Web,
Mhm.
Craven.
Rich Craven's on Netflix now.
These movies are box office bombs.
Well, because for some reason Sony wants to do the villains, and really Craven's not a popular villain. Morbius, not a popular villain. Madam Web. Well, I think only me and you know about Madam Web. You know what I mean?
Well, they tried to throw in a lot of, again, Spider-Man adjacent characters in there. They tried to throw who's the girl from Euphoria? Sweeney,
Oh,
Sydney Sweeney.
yeah, Sydney Sweeney, yeah.
She's Black Cat in that one, right?
Right.
So in Madam Web. So again, they're trying to throw in all this stuff that as long as it's Spider Verse, that it'll make some money. And it just didn't work. None of these actors who have done these movies really want to do any more of it. Tom Hardy is done after this movie, although he has expressed interest that if Venom further on is going to be fighting Spider-Man, then maybe he would do it. What's a bummer about that also is that you've had movies like Far From Home and Let There Be Carnage have end stingers, I'm so used to calling it ours, have
Yeah.
end credit scenes that hint of there being crossovers, only
Right.
there to be nothing
Right.
that comes from it.
Yeah, like I was really disappointed when we didn't get a Sinister Six from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Morbius I think had that end credit where it had the Vulture coming into Morbius's, which
Right.
I don't even know why that because like what
No, it didn't make sense.
that didn't make any even sense with Doctor Strange's. Okay,
But you know what? But okay, so I will give them credit, right? Because we are here to review Venom, but we're going to talk about this for a little bit, right? So I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree with you, but I do see one thing that they did right, and they meaning Sony, right? You have to start a franchise with something, a character or something that everybody at least has heard of, right? To kind of get the blood flowing, right?
sure, okay,
Marvel tried that a few times with some characters like Blade, it wasn't that, it had its own thing, but they kicked it off with Iron Man and they had a good famous actor playing that part. So it was a good movie. It was a character that everybody knew and it was an actor everybody knew, right?
right,
That's what first Venom was. Essentially, everybody knew Tom Hardy. And Batman, Mad Max, to just name a few, right?
sure. Revenant was an Oscar-winning movie.
Right. It had a beloved character that people love, Venom, right? And everybody was excited because the last time we saw Venom on the big screen was Spider-Man 3. So this was their chance to bring back Venom the correct way, right?
Sure,
Right? And the movie wasn't that bad. It was a good kickoff. But the
the first
problem,
one.
yeah, it wasn't that great, but it was a kickoff, just like
Well,
Iron Man 1 was.
I think that yeah, in re-listening and rewatching the Venom, the first half of that movie is quite boring, and I think that's the franchise problem. The Venom franchise problem is that I really don't have any strong feelings for Eddie Brock.
No, nobody cares about Eddie Brock. People care about Venom.
Right. He's not charismatic. He's not like a Marvel character where there is some like Star-Lord is obviously
Hmm.
a very I guess a big role model for a lot of kids. He's kind of funny, takes himself
Right.
seriously, but he's still the hero type of thing.
Right.
Tony Stark, everyone knows is great because he's a cocky, arrogant dude,
Hmm.
but he knows he's in the right. He knows he's doing it for good. You want somebody who's witty and smart and cocky like that, but who's on the side of good. Same with Doctor
Right.
Strange.
Hmm.
Doctor Strange is one of those where he is also kind of an a-hole, but at the same part, he will do what needs to be done in order to maintain,
Order.
yeah,
Sure.
He is the lawful good.
But I think where they did good on this, right? Now, I know a lot of comic book guys are going to yell at me, and I myself am going to yell at me. Uh, Eddie Brock needs to be Bane,
Okay.
because that's who he is. And I'm saying that because Tom Hardy, right? I mean, like, he needs to be this big, bulking doofus, because that's who
Yeah.
Eddie Brock was. So for Sony to completely change that and make Tom Hardy a lovable goof, which he pulls it off well, that's okay. I will give it the MacGuffin. The problem that Sony did, though, buddy, was they didn't world build off of the first Venom movie. They're just like, okay, Venom's done. Now we're gonna do Morbius. Like, okay, so if you're gonna introduce Morbius, then have Morbius be at the end stinger, right? Or if like, have it flow, have it go. Because you remember, like, was it Iron Man 2 where Thor's hammer is at the end credits?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that got now that Thor movie sucked, but that got people excited. That's world building.
Yeah,
That's
got
where
people
they have
talking.
failed on this.
Oh, listen, they've failed on a few
Multiple
different things
things.
as well too. Because I feel like in the first Venom, the relationship between Venom and Eddie Brock was much different than the relationship we have now. They were
Yeah.
at odds. They were
was- yeah.
codependent on the first movie.
Yeah, it was
Right?
it was more Parasite than anything.
Yeah, and then the second movie, it was kind of like just two bros.
No, that's this one. This
No, this one is a buddy cop. This one
Aye.
is most absolutely yin and yang buddy cop. This is a Tommy Boy kind of a thing. There's comedy in this one.
I
I thought this
enjoy it.
movie was more comedy than it was action.
Yes, and I enjoyed every second of it.
You know what? I actually enjoyed a lot of the comedy in this too, but there's where it gets lost
Right. No, they completely jumped the shark on it, and that's why I had fun.
because it was the only enjoyable part of the movie for me. Honestly,
Yeah.
was the Oh, and by the way, I did not know this until I was doing research, but Venom is played by Tom Hardy.
Yeah, the voice. Yeah.
And so how it works is that Tom Hardy does the voiceover work, and then as he's playing Eddie Brock, he wears an earpiece and hears his Venom voiceover.
Right. And then they dub it and make it movie magic and all that stuff with
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
right?
But that's how he
And he's good
was
at
fun.
it. I mean, think about that. I mean, like, I don't know what movie there was, but there was a movie. It was a very, very good movie where they had to act with a tennis ball on a rod because of a CG scene or whatever.
Okay.
And what my point of that is that when you see the reality that they're acting with a tennis ball on a rod, but then you see the end result, it's like, wow, that's good acting. You know what I mean? Tom
Yeah.
Hardy plays this well. Plays it well. He's played it well. He's comfortable in the skin. He's used to this role now. Yes, you're right too, because like I remember the first movie, they were talking about how Venom was slowly killing him from the inside out
Yeah.
because he was a parasite. And this movie completely forgets and just forgoes all that these are actually parasites eating their host from the inside out. And now people want the symbiotes on them.
Man, and I tell you, the other part of it too that this movie is lost on is the bad guy. They've introduced
Yeah.
so many, and they just got lost on it. So the movie opens up with the introduction of Null.
Yeah. Is this a
Which-
character?
Yeah, he is a huge character, and they wasted him in this movie right here.
Oh, he's a big character.
He's a massive character. So he was there before the universe was created.
Okay, so
He
he's
was living
this
in
is
the
Marvel.
darkness. This is Marvel. So
Okay,
he's
stop.
living in. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say stop. I'm sorry. That was my fault. I misspoke. What I was trying to say was before the universe started. So is he the same thing as dude Ant-Man Wasp that you were educating me on that you got me excited about? Who's the Kane? Yeah.
Kang.
Kang.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
No. Kang is a scientist, and he just discovered
Okay.
how to jump multiverses, and he just found different variants of himself. He's like Rick from Rick and Morty.
Gotcha.
Okay. So Null is there before the universe. He was in the proto universe, if you want to call that, living in the darkness,
Okay.
chilling. And then the Celestials came. Celestials started to create universes. They created light. They created this planets, universes, solar systems. They started doing all that, and Null didn't like that. He kind of pissed him off because he woke up, right, and he's like, "Whoa, what's all this light?" And so he attacks. He goes to war with the Celestials. He has the Black Sword, which we saw in Thor: Love and Thunder. That Gore was
the
using.
one that Gore has.
Yes, exactly.
That was Null's sword.
Yeah, that's Null's sword. And he used that sword and he killed one of the Celestials. He chopped off his head. That head became Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That's the head, the floating head.
Yeah, the floating head was at Nowhere.
Okay, wait a minute. So this is not talked about in this movie. This is comic book knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm kind of disappointed that, again, they just kind of do this throwaway here.
Okay, so he cuts off the head, Nowhere. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
So he's created the symbiotes.
Oh, he created the symbiotes.
Yeah, he created the symbiotes, and he also created the xenophages as well too.
Okay.
Long story about the symbiotes, but eventually they turn against them and they imprison them, right?
Okay.
And again, it's a big, massive thing because again, like these comics used to do like a year-long build.
Right.
They would do issues by issues by issues, and they would lead up to give you like little bits, kind of how Marvel movies did. They give you little bits.
Yeah, so you go back and buy the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So eventually they imprison Null, and we get how this movie is now. Null is imprisoned in like this void, right?
Okay.
But for some reason he can have these xenophages, like I'm assuming jump anywhere in the universe. I'm assuming multiverses as well too. Which is
like
kind
magic rings from Sonic.
Yeah, kind of a weird loophole that they have there, right?
Which is fun.
And these snarling beasts are just going out to find the Codex, which I found that to be pretty cheap. We already
is that not a thing?
It is, but it's not really called that. We already heard codexes, by the way, from the Superman movie in DC. If you heard about that. So I'm kind of over them find the codex and thing. Either way, the codex was created when the symbiote brought back Eddie Brock in the second one. Yes.
When Venom brought him back.
Yeah. So anyway, that codex will release him from his prison.
But he has to get the codex.
And so he sends these xenophages throughout to the universe to try to find this thing.
Gotcha. So one of my confusions about this, though, is like the second one was Carnage, right? Which I was really geeked for Carnage.
Yeah, of course.
Right, because that's like Heath Ledger's Joker and like Jigsaw had a baby kind of villain. You know what I mean? Like crazy nut, right? We didn't get this kind of crazy nut in the movie, but in this movie, all the symbiotes are good now, because in the first movie he was fighting other symbiotes.
Some symbiotes are good, some of them are bad, some of them are just kind of neutral. Well, I think they all have a common goal right now, so I think they're putting aside any sort of legion or allegiance to by the wayside and just being like, all right, well, we have a common enemy, so we gotta protect it.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay, so I can see why somebody like you who has a knowledge of Null, right?
Yep.
Has a knowledge of Null, to get him in this movie who doesn't even speak. Does an actor play him? I mean,
no, he's just like some CGI. So again, Null is so cool of a character because he is a badass. Like he could he kills Celestials.
Yeah, so he could take Thanos down.
He could take Galactus. Yeah, exactly.
He could take Galactus.
Oh yeah, easily. And
Galactus. Okay.
Like I believe there's an episode there's a series of comics where he does get released eventually. Yeah, I'm quite sure. Then he like defeats Guardians of the Galaxy, comes to Earth, and the thing about him is that he can one of his many powers is that he can assimilate people onto him, so and make them part of his team. So I believe the Avengers go to fight him, and he assimilates all of them. So
that's pretty cool.
Now you have like these evil Avengers who are like symbiote kind of. They look cool. It's a cool art.
It's amazing that Marvel didn't make him into a character. I guess he's not popular enough.
So there's a theory about it that I read online, and we could probably get into it a little bit later, but that hopefully it will be a part of Spider-Man 4 and a part of the Avengers movies, the Doomsday saga as well too. That this might be in a hope for when Doom World or whatever happens, that it will do a reset completely in the universe of the Marvelverse, and it will be one world where everyone is existing. No more multiverse. It's
That'd be
one
nice.
world now where everyone is just there. So mutants alike, all of the other IPs alike, everyone's in one world.
Gotcha. All right. Okay. So again, somebody like you who knows his character Null, and the movie starts out with Null saying we got to find the Codex, right? Yeah. Okay. Been there, done that, right? Like we're there. Also, another MacGuffin is, of course, Area 51 has all the symbiotes, right? And now the government is destroying Area 51 and relocating it,
Yeah,
right?
they've decommissioned it, and while they're decommissioning it, Area 55 has become the point of interest now. So now we get another villain here, right? The General Strickland.
So I'm looking at the plot, and again, I'm so sorry if this episode is all about history, but I'm confused. It says this is the first two sentences. After being transported to Earth 616 by Doctor Strange's spell, Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote are drunk in a bar in Mexico
Yeah,
and
so
tells the
that's
bartender,
how
as the bartender fills them in about Thanos and the Infinity Stones. So they're in Marvel's world?
this is how Far From Home or Far No Way Home ended, the end credit scene.
Right. So, okay, wait a minute. Okay, I'm so sorry, everybody listening to you, Eric. So Earth 616, what's that?
That's Marvel.
So Iron Man, Captain America, all those movies.
Spider-Man, yes, all those
That's
movies.
Earth. So, but Venom's movies were in a different universe,
Correct.
and Doctor Strange transported Eddie Brock to Marvel's universe.
You
So
remember
this
that
movie
spell
is in
that
Marvel's universe.
you remember? No. You remember
No.
that? You remember the end of No Way Home,
Okay.
when Doctor Strange casted the spell and all the Spider-Mans came in, and
Right.
Doc Ock came in, and
Right.
all the people came into to the 616 universe, right?
Right.
At the end credit scene, it showed that also Eddie Brock was into that universe as well too,
Okay.
getting drunk in Mexico. This movie starts with him in that spot, and he's talking with the bartender, and then suddenly he gets zipped out and is back to his own universe.
Which is Earth 688.
Correct.
So he goes back. Okay. Okay. I'm on the same page. Okay, we're good.
Yes.
We're good.
So now,
And
now we're in there. Yes.
all right. So now they're on the run from Carnage, from that whole issue from the second movie, and let's see here. Eddie is being named prime suspect and forced him to set out to New York to attempt to clear his name. This is where the brohood comes out. Now these xenophages are CG is they're interesting though, right? Because there's all these teeth things, and then when they eat you, right? They like, I don't know, pee you out the back of their heads with all the blood. It's cool. It's a cool design.
It's a lame boss, man. It's
not the final boss.
No, but that's what
okay.
I think is so cheesy about this. For a third movie, these baddies here, these alien monsters thing, this is more of like a first or second type of movie threat here, man. Like, you're telling me that the entire movie, it's just a game of red light, green light? Like,
That's good.
you can just run from them. You can just turn into Eddie Brock, and then they can't see you.
That's true. Yeah, so he could
it.
he doesn't have to turn into Venom at all.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a few things that bothered me about how they dealt with this. One, I just don't understand it. And when the military or when people like that have these guns and they just shoot at a monster for so long, forever, and clearly nothing is working.
Right, and they keep on shooting.
And they keep on doing it. Just like, okay, can you maybe like just stop and like run instead of just standing there and be like, oh, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just reload, and just shoot it more. And just like because you're gonna find the sweet spot. You're gonna find Smog's missing scale there and
Small.
be able and like take him down. Like what are you doing?
Yeah,
It
yeah, because yeah,
it really bothers me about that. Also, there's a few parts in here where there's a chase scene,
right.
and like the chase scene starts where they're this far apart, and then camera cuts over here, and then cuts back, and then they're closer, this far apart. They're almost there, and then the camera cuts again, and it comes back, and all of a sudden, oh, they're the gap is widened again. Say, okay, well, wait a minute. So this chase scene has gone on for a ridiculously long time, and they went from far to close to far to kind of close, and then yeah, it's just like, and then suddenly they get caught up, and then it's like, all right, well, if someone tripped, then that chase should be over, right? You have people behind you, but nope, suddenly they have all the time in the world. So I that always bothers me.
Because I'm looking up his villains too, like his top 12 villains, and there's some interesting villains here. There's this out of top 10, number 4 is a Scream. It's like a black, yellow, red female Venom that just looks monstrous. Toxin as well looks pretty cool. I don't know if we ever had Toxin in these movies. Null is number 2, and number 1 is Carnage. But it's like what I'm getting at. I think what you agree with is that if you're gonna do Null, right? But if you don't
think
do
actually, I want them to build towards Null a bit more. Don't open the movie with Null being like, "Go, my pets, and get the thing that I need." Yeah. Hint at it, build for it, do like a Thanos or like how they were doing with the Kang a bit more. Let me know that one, you've just acknowledged him in this universe. That's already gonna get me talking. I like that. That's great. But then to make this third movie all about it's like, what?
It doesn't even make him a threatening villain because he doesn't say or do anything. He's not even an actor. He's a CGI creation. But Venom and Eddie Brock have to go to New York to clear their name. And this is where the bro episode, right? This is the buddy cop. This is Lethal Weapon at this point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When they're on the run. And I am enjoying it. The jokes are ridiculous. Tom Hardy looks like he's constipated throughout the whole movie. Like, yeah, he's completely strung out, which is why I kind of believe that Venom is slowly killing him, right?
Sure, that's what it should be.
Right, and this movie opens up too with him. See, okay, so I watched this movie in 3 parts. I watched the first part like last week. I watched second half the other day, and I finished it last night. So I'm trying to remember the first part of it. But in the first part of it, don't they go to like doesn't Eddie go into like this dog fighting ring or something like that? And or is that just nonsense?
No, that it's in Mexico still, and yeah, he and Venom hear a noise, and they have this agreement where they try to be the good guys now. Which is a part of Venom's story arc, right? He goes from villain to anti-villain to hero. But to do that in 3 movies is like it's too quick, man. Have it build a bit more. I want to see the ups and downs a bit more. I just don't want you have suddenly in the 3rd movie to be Venom just be like this happy-go-lucky cartoon character and be like, hey, me and my buddy Eddie are gonna go on hit the road, and we're going to meet a whole bunch of zany characters, kind of a thing. It's like, what?
But I'm enjoying that, but I'm also like enjoying.
I'm trying not to swear.
I know.
He sings Rocket Man, and then he dances. He has a dance number in this movie.
It's amazing.
I hate it.
I know you do. I hate it too. I mean, like, do you get it when I say it's amazing, or do you not?
Is it one of those where like it's so bad it's good kind of thing?
I don't know if it's bag of butter territory. We've only given that to Bad Boys 5 or 4, whatever that movie was. Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Yeah.
Remember you were gonna say For Life? That's the 3rd one.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, it's not bag of butter territory where it's just like, oh my god. But it's like at this point, this is not Venom. right? I mean, like this is not the Venom that's supposed to be. Like this is Lethal Weapon. This is buddy movies. This is Cheech and Chong. So
Yeah.
me knowing this, I'm going along for the ride because you know why? I don't have much invested in this franchise anyway. I have hardly anything invested into this franchise. Who at Area 51? Who's this blonde main lady doctor? I was going to say another word. Who just is just completely oblivious to the world and loves symbiotes.
Yeah, that's Dr. Teddy Payne, played by Juno Temple. She is the second person from Ted Lasso in this movie. The other one being Cristo Fernandez,
Oh, has she been in this?
who's the bartender.
Has she been in the other movies, or is this her first time?
She's been in other movies, but
First time in this franchise.
Yes, first time in this franchise.
Okay, because I was trying to be like, do I know her? Was she in the other ones? But she's not.
Completely pointless character.
Yeah, because she doesn't do anything. She's not like one of those like evil doctors that's like, I'm evil, and then gets her comeuppance at the end.
Her and Strickland, the general, I feel like Sony didn't really know what to do, and they were just there to kind of be an extra piece, to maybe an excuse to have Strickland make the army go against him. But I'm so confused by this character because there are moments when he's like friendly and buddy with the doctor, and in the next scene he's just a mean dick to her and just like, this is my place now, you're fired, get out of here, type of thing. And for him to be like, oh well, I just lost 3 guys, it's like, you're going after an alien. What did you expect, dude? Like, yeah. And then the entire time, what really pissed me off too is that there's this guy that's just standing in a dark room looking at monitors at CCTV, and he's just some faceless guy who's just like, yes, I approve, type of thing. It's like, who is this? Why is he so, like, how many bad guys do we have in this movie? How many villains are there? No. And it's not clear, especially because Strickland turns at the end where he's just like, oh, I get it now. His whole idea was to be, I gotta save it. First, we gotta bring in Eddie Brock because he's wanted for Detective Mulligan, the death of this, and then we gotta do it because he's got the symbiote. We gotta save the symbiotes or collect all the symbiotes because they're a threat. And then after interviewing Detective Mulligan, who they put a symbiote in, right?
Is that who that is?
Yeah, he was the detective from the second movie that was killed.
When he was in like the mermaid symbiote thing.
Yeah, he was in that symbiote thing. And that symbiote tells Juno Temple, the doctor, and Strickland that about this threat that's coming in.
Right.
And then says about the codex, that's what he wants. If one of them, Eddie Brock or Venom, dies, then it's done. And so Strickland takes that and be like, all right, that's all I need to hear. I hear a threat coming, gonna wipe everything out. And so now my new task is to find one of these guys and kill him. That's it.
Right. What was the blonde doctor's assistant? She was just there to be the assistant?
I believe her name, they called her Christmas, right?
Yeah, because that sounded familiar to me.
Sadie?
Yeah. Was she in any of the Venom movies? Was she in anything before with Marvel? No. Oh, this is her first thing too?
No. Funny enough, Strickland, the guy who plays the general, he was in Marvel. He was in Doctor Strange. He plays Mordo.
I thought he was, oh my God, Kang.
Right, because all black people look alike to you, right?
Wow. On air?
Oh my God, it's Ethan Hawke.
Oh my God. All right, we're going to do that tonight, huh? Okay, your face is red. On air? Really?
Hey, bud.
No, I just thought that was him for some reason.
Comedy show here, right?
Because I was like, hey, well, he jumped ship from Marvel and now he's on Sony. Good for him. Okay,
that would be like Sony to hire majors and be like, we don't care what you did.
Right, we don't allegedly did. Okay, so she's nobody either, too, right? She's not in Christmas. She's not in the other ones either. Okay.
No, these are just bodies to make symbiotes.
What happened to Michelle Williams? She too good?
I think she realized that she was in the Venom movie, and
I mean,
she said no, thank you.
okay, all right. So yeah, so the rest of the movie is cat and mouse, and why this cat and mouse game is going on. Well, Eddie Brock is first of all, the plane thing doesn't make any sense, right? Or did I go pee and I missed it? But the next scene, like the next shot, is Eddie Brock is on the side of a plane freaking out.
Yeah,
Did I miss
they were.
something?
Well, they were going to go to New York.
Right. But
Yeah,
was there a scene that we're like, we can't stow away in the luggage, we have to ride the outside of the plane?
yeah, basically.
Okay.
Well,
I
no,
actually
it
oh,
was one of those where I think Eddie Brock was in Mexico, and he's like, "I wish we could fly," and
and then
Venom's like,
there you
"Oh,
go.
yeah, we can fly," which is again a silly thing because I'm pretty sure a plane, the high frequency noise bothered a symbiote in the first movie, and now
Right.
suddenly he's able to ride one.
Right. I did laugh out loud with the joke where he's like, my mouth is so dry. Like, hilarious. It's because it's so stupid. It's, you know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah,
random stupidness. And that's when they fight the Xenophase, blah, blah, blah. Xenophase gets sucked through the engine, right? And then this we get introduced to characters that don't need to be here. I mean, just filler, but we get this hippie family, right? Where the son doesn't really know who his family is. Mom and dad are hippies. And the daughter's just like so checked out, right? Just like this is so not cool.
yep.
And they're in a hippie bus and they're traveling to Area 51 because it's public knowledge that they are decommissioning Area 51. That's the whole point. And this is the family where Eddie Brock and Venom get to spend time with and to sing Rocket Man together. I loved all that stuff.
Major Tom, by the way.
I loved it.
Yeah, what the again? It's a
It's
comedy aspect of the movie,
right.
and it's like, okay, who is this for?
It's for bros. It's a silly, stupid movie that forgot its core value, and we're singing, ground control to Major Tom, bud. You know what I mean? Like it's
I
it's it's silly.
The only thing I had thought of
Hmm.
was, and again, I understand why they do this in movies because it's my biggest gripe in the Jurassic World movies.
Hmm.
Why they put a kid in these situations.
Because it
Or
worked in Aliens.
it's more so, maybe not just because of aliens, but I don't know if it's just to increase the threat level. But I think now that's what it was before. But I think now it's because it's to relate to kids of that age, where a kid
Maybe.
that age is going to watch this movie and be like, "Oh, I love Venom. I think I'm gonna buy a Venom backpack and clothes and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and really buy in more to the character a bit." I think that's how, because it works so well for Guardians of the Galaxy.
I mean, my theories are crazy and ridiculous, right? My theories are just out there where it's like, hey, Spielberg killed a kid in Jaws. So we can't do that anymore. So we're going to introduce Short Round, and he's going to be amazing in Indiana Jones, right? It's like, oh, this is great. We got to have sidekicks. We got to have kids. And then Newt was so successful in Aliens. I mean, like the list goes on.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have a kid for it, then you got to have a cartoony character that's
Yeah.
like a lovable and squishy, so like a Grogu, or I guess all the kids like Groot or Baby Groot or
Everybody loves
Rocket.
Baby Groot.
Yeah. So those that works. That type of marketing does work, and I think that's what Sony was trying to do. But again, they it seems like they're trying so much in this movie that they get lost on what the movie is supposed to be. It's an
Right.
hour and 50 runtime, and I don't think that anything new was told in this movie.
Besides Venom Horse,
Yeah, besides the Venom horse.
that was amazing. Did you ever think you would have Venom Horse? But now you do. But see, look, you're complaining, you're upset right now, right? And you have every reason to be upset. I'm upset, but I'm taking this as I am taking my anger and frustration and I'm turning it into a positive because I have hope. And my hope is eventually Marvel is going to get their full grasp onto the Spider-Man and the Spider-Man villain universe people, and they're going to tell an actual real Venom movie. Why? Because it's happened before. Batman Begins, anybody, as an example. Right?
Well, yeah, I get you. But there was direction in I think a bit more on this one. This one, I think they're just so lost. So what I would have liked to have seen on this is take out Null and the Xenophage altogether, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And put Strickland as your big bad in this one,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And make it so that he's trying to do a double cross. The doctors, the two doctors that we see, always young and hot, by the way,
Always.
are really into the symbiotes, and they're into learning a bit more about it too. I like that the Dr. Payne, the Juno Temple girl, has this history of being hit by lightning, and so her arm doesn't work. She has it, but it's a dead or limp arm or just a
Peter Tingle.
Sure, I like that because you can use that to play a little bit later, right? I like that the other one, Sadie, also has a fascination with this to the point where you can clearly see that she's like, you know what? I think I want to get infected by one of these things after seeing it with Detective Mulligan. So I think what should happen here is they are experimenting with the symbiotes. Strickland is seeing how much of a threat this is after they use a symbiote to bring Mulligan back to life.
Yeah.
And then they're talking with that symbiote is maybe talking some sort of nonsense that they don't understand yet, right?
Right.
That they're saying, oh, we're here to. It doesn't matter what they're saying, because Strickland will believe that they are here to take over. That their symbiotes are going to come to Earth and just try to take everything that they can. So you can have that symbiote, the one that takes over Detective Mulligan, say whatever they want. Oh, we're just trying to find a new home. Our home is destroyed. Strickland doesn't believe it.
No.
So
no Transformers here.
He is doing experiments and finds a weakness for these symbiotes, right?
Sound.
And yeah, exactly. He's been working with the doctors, trying to be on their good side a bit. I am your buddy. At the same part, he's talking with the man in the dark room about the secret project. Whatever, kill Venom, anti-Venom.
There you go.
Silly.
Clever.
Well, anti-Venom comes later on in the series, actually. So it's a white Venom, by the way.
Perfect. Make that the villain. That sounds great.
That's a long story. Either way,
Okay.
But yes. So have Strickland be the bad guy. Have him develop a new weapon. Have him develop a synthetic symbiote or something that makes him kind of, the new bad or something like that. So have the adventure going about then them trying to look up for Eddie Brock, the bad guy, in the dark room, and sees everything they do in the CCTV. Yeah, sees them partying in Vegas, gets hooked up by the family. I don't know. Have Eddie and Venom have like this bad back and forth to where kind of like how Bruce Banner and Hulk had this thing where Hulk didn't want to come out.
Right. Because Hulk was scared because he got beat.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe do this sort of thing where Venom doesn't want to come out because Strickland can track him, because Strickland can pick up the whatever the signal,
the codex.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to put that in there too, and have that be the big bad at the end, right? Sure. And then at the big bad, they have the final fight that comes out in Area 51 or 55 or whatever it is. The family helps them out, and then the two doctors, in an effort to save the symbiotes, obviously infect themselves, and then you have the symbiotes all coming together.
Symbiote family.
Yeah, the symbiote army to defeat Strickland.
Perfect. That sounds great.
And then at the end, have Null introduced.
And make everybody go, oh no.
Yeah, have
Venom
something
4.
Where like Venom has to consume, because that's what he does. That's a big part of what Venom is that he can be able to consume and assimilate whatever he's trying to do that, right? And have him do that with Strickland. And because of that, he gains a new power. And because of that is something that Null can sense. Like, oh, something has awakened. I can see this. Oh, I know where you are now. And have that be the threat that gets him going. I like that because, again, it plays to kind of the line, to the rule. It doesn't overstretch. anything that's supposed to be here. It's but I understand what Sony's trying to do because they just suck at telling it, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're trying to do it, but what I don't understand is why introduce characters or monsters like xenophages. I really hated them. Like, I liked the look of them, right? But I really hated them because you introduce characters or monsters to where they literally cannot be killed. I mean, like these things were sucked through plane engines and fell 30,000 feet and regenerated. These things got blown up and regenerate. I mean, this is complete nonsense. Like, these things are indestructible, and that was annoying. I don't know if you agree with me. You're probably going to say sure. I think the greatest sequence in this movie was the underwater rapids scene, right, where they were filming under the water, and they had Strickland and his guys going after Eddie Brock, and Venom was in his goo face trying to come after him too, and their struggles. I thought it was shot very, very well, and I thought it was a good action piece. I thought that was good when it comes to action in this movie. But then, like, the rest of it was just like everybody wanted to be infected. And like, they completely forget and they throw out the window that you're infected with the symbiote. What we're going to do is see Mrs. Chang at Vegas and have a dance sequence. Mrs.
Which
Chang,
was,
right? That's her.
Yeah, that was wild, is what that was.
That was amazing. I actually did like Eddie Brock in this
Chen.
too. Chen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Chang, Mrs. Chen.
Yes, Mrs. Chen.
Chen. Throwaway, but I did enjoy it. Eddie Brock tries to get in. The guards won't let him in without a suit, right? Venom knocks the guy out who was drunk, pissing himself, steals his suit, right? Cops come, right? Because Venom knocked out the door guy. And Eddie Brock says, "Hey, knocked him out over there. He passed out." You know, I like that little line.
This is a great element of the movie. This is, I think, what saved it for me. It's just this back and forth between Eddie and Venom, where there's so many parts where Eddie's just like, "I don't want to do this," and Venom's just like, "Well, too bad. I have full control."
We're doing it.
Like when Eddie first met the hippie family,
right?
And the hippie's like, "Are you hungry?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." And he sits down, and the hippie guy Martin gives him a plate, and he says, "Nothing was killed on that plate, a complete vegetarian plate." And then out of just a reaction,
it throws
Venom
it.
obviously flips it, and like that part's great. That's funny.
It's funny. It's stupid funny. And then
the gag with the shoes, the entire movie.
He's like, "I just want some shoes."
All my shoes. Yeah,
it's so stupid.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah,
that's great. More of that.
And then this is where the movie just really makes me fold my arms, right? Where they meet, they run to Mrs. Chen. They run to Mrs. Chen, and they go up into her presidential suite or whatever, right? And they're hanging out, and Venom knows and Eddie knows that he cannot take full form because those things are out there hunting him. Here's the great thing, right? It's like, don't go into full form and we can just live our lives. This is fine. Nothing, right? But no. Venom he's in love with her. Literally, I feel.
He's got to dance, baby.
I feel he's in love with her.
Yeah.
And he has to come out in full form. And what did they do? Doing Dancing Queen?
Yeah, that's right. It was ABBA, I think. Yeah.
And then this is where I laugh at all the people that hated Spider-Man 3's Venom, right? Because I'm like, you guys thought that was bad. Venom's literally dancing to Dancing Queen right now. Like this is Bag of Colonel's territory at this moment. Like, this isn't Bag of Butter. This is Colonel's. This is terrible. Somebody CG'd this.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Screw firing the government people. Fire that guy.
Yeah, this was a bad decision here. I don't know what they were trying to do with this.
Oh, it was disgusting. Also, too, Venom changes too. Like, like in the first movie, he was black, but he had these white veiny things, and in this movie that doesn't really, that's gone too. So after that, here comes Strickland and his people, and bam, we're going to take Venom and Eddie Brock, separate them. Bam, see you later. We're going to go to Area 51, and this is where the big
Area
battle.
55.
I thought it was 51.
Yeah.
Oh, they go to below. Okay, whatever.
Area below is 55. Above ground is 51.
Yeah. And this is where we have the big battle, right? Where the xenophages come, and you're right, like you said in the middle of the episode, right? Like all the humans are like, "Oh, we have these bang bang things. This will hurt them." And after like 20 shots, if it doesn't go down, maybe you should stop shooting it. It's not doing anything. Why doesn't anybody get a rocket launcher?
Yeah, eventually they do, right?
Where's the guns in like Starship Troopers? We had the mini nuke bazookas. Like come on.
I just don't understand how, like, they clearly know that sound frequencies affect the symbiotes.
Right.
And, like, Strickland doesn't really use them as much as they should, as the government. And so, like, why not try the same thing on the xenophages? I don't think it would do anything because the xenophages were doing the same sound blasting to the symbiotes.
But try something. These things to have a weakness.
Do something. Anything besides the same gun that apparently has infinite ammo. I didn't see anyone reload at all. But again, it's typical comic book movie.
But then this turns into I brought it up as a joke, but then I was thinking about it while I was watching it. This does turn into Transformers then, right? Because it's like the appeal I feel, which you and I don't like Transformers, the movies, the Michael Bay movies, but like. That's kind of the appeal of those movies, is right? It's like to see what this crazy robot's gonna look like, right? You know what I mean? And in this movie, we get like 6 symbiotes that just attach themselves to guys and girls, and it's just like they could become their own thing, right? We had this big fat guy who became like this mud fat symbiote.
You had like a clobbering kind of one.
Yeah.
You had a super speed one. You had. Christmas was doing like a Carnage thing as well too.
Right.
You had 2 that merged together to do like a web kind of a thing.
I'm gonna bring it up. Is it just me, or is it really stupid that we have to show that this symbiote is a female, so we gotta put symbiote boobs on it? To me, that's as ridiculous as the bat nipples. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, why? Why make it feminine? Why make it male? Like, why? Is it simply because it's what the host is? So it's going to take the shape of the host?
Clearly not, because that bulky symbiote was taking over a guy that was not like that at all whatsoever.
I guess, but it's just like, why have? I don't know. It was just. Why have gender symbiotes? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, there are gender symbiotes, but yeah, I feel I see what you mean. Like if the male symbiotes take on a form that doesn't match the host, then the female symbiote should do the same instead of it being very, very curvy and
very curvy.
Yeah, it's just like, right, well, this is a bit much here. You're unlocking a kink that a lot of people aren't going to be in.
Mm-hmm.
To I guess pleased about.
And then Christmas's symbiote, if you got the joke, colors were red and green.
Yeah.
Because you had a Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And everything else is nonsense, right? So the family, the hippie family breaks into Area 51. They're on this big crow's nest looking over. Oh my God, Eddie Brock saves them. Hey, the aliens are real, and it's just these xenophages just don't get destroyed. They come up with all these different plans. Men are being devoured by these things.
Yeah.
Like it's no pun intended. It's carnage at this point, right? And eventually Venom's plan at the end of the movies, where they can't destroy him anymore, is that he's going to release himself from Eddie, and he's going to umbrella cover the xenophages and then walk them or guide them to acid?
Yep.
And have Strickland sacrifice himself and dump the acid, because that's going to kill the xenophages. Yep. And Venom.
Yeah, and blow it up, by the way, too.
I don't know how it blowed up.
Well, because Strickland lit his
He had a
Zippo
grenade.
or whatever, yeah, or a
He had a
grenade or
grenade. Yeah.
whatever.
And that's it, right? I mean, like we've seen these things being sucked through jet engines, but acid and grenades will do it.
Yep, exactly. Got to obliterate them, just
Right. And then
vaporize them.
and this made me think the movie wasn't going to be over with yet because Venom's like, uh, I'll miss you, Eddie, or something. But then he says
Oh,
something
then they
like,
have a montage.
they
Oh
do,
my God.
they have a montage at the end too. What is it? Of that stupid song. Oh, at
Yes, it
the end.
was. I.
It was in Fast and Furious, right? It was.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was the Paul Walker song.
Yeah.
Do,
Yeah.
do, 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 do,
I'm not gonna
do,
sing
do.
it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's the song. I
That's the
forgot.
song in the movie, right? In this movie, right?
I think so. I'm actually not
And
too
then
sure.
eventually the movie ends
That's
with Eddie Brock looking over the horizon there with
couldn't hear over my eyes rolling. Half those clips were done in the same in that movie.
I know. And then like I thought he was because Eddie Brock like the last line of the movie is Eddie Brock says, "I miss you, buddy," or "I'll see you, buddy." Like I was waiting to hear, "I'll see you soon, bud." I was
Yeah.
waiting for, but no, Venom did not come back.
No.
Venom's dead.
Is he?
This movie, I mean, right? There's no end credits, is there?
Yes, there are. There are two.
Okay, I missed it. What do you know before we get a popcorn rain? Do you know?
So two end credits. There's the mid credits, and that's when how the bartender from Mexico. Remember they took
Yeah.
him as well as taking the sample symbiote.
Yes.
So that right there, the sample symbiote, because that was Venom. I think that's the reason why Venom continues to live because Strickland, you know, took that little test tube and slammed it on the table and got it.
Okay.
Right. So the end credits open or with the barman walking out of Area 55 going, hello, kind of forgot about, I'm ready to leave now. And as he's walking off into the horizon, you see a cockroach walk up and an open test tube kind of has a little bit of electric thing charged. And you can assume then that whatever's in that test tube probably takes the cockroach, you know?
So Venom takes the cockroach?
We don't know yet because it was a purple thing, so it could have been Venom or it could have been the symbiote that
Oh, the
the
blonde doctor.
doctor, had as well too. So we don't know, but I do know that again at the end of the Spider-Man movie, that symbiote sample was left in 616. So Venom could still be around
So
as well.
Venom's in 616 right now, and he knew that.
Possibly. And there's been so many different storylines that Marvel's had end credit scenes, and they just dismissed completely.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, let's not dismiss our popcorn review.
Oh, and then the last
Oh,
one was Null in his prison, basically head down, just being like, all right, he's kind of talking to the audience at this point. And this is where it gets real cheesy for me because he's talking about your champion has fallen, referring to Venom. He's like, but you will see me burn down the world. You bet your life on it, kind of a thing. He looks at the
really?
camera. He's like, you will watch me do it. And referring to basically telling the audience that you will see me again, kind of a thing.
Yeah, not in Marvel, unless Sony gives up their rights, which they won't. They just gave up X-Men rights, did they not?
X-Men
And
was
Fantastic Four.
that was Fox.
Oh, Fox, never mind. I get that. Who cares? Popcorn rating, buddy, for Venom Last Dance. Generic. I'll go with a small, right? I mean, like the name's really stupid too, because when it first came out a while ago, and it was Venom Last Dance, it reminded me of the Michael Jordan documentary, and I was like, why do they call it this? I didn't even understand the title. I kind of wish Null was because I didn't know anything about Null because this was a throwaway character for me, right? So with your knowledge at the beginning of this episode, got me kind of excited about it, and I kind of wish they would have done something with it or make the villain Carnage, like switch the movies around, I guess. But yeah, it's very generic, cookie cutter, if you will. Nothing that I'm going to go back and see. It ends the franchise, this trilogy on an end note. It kept on going down, right? So small bag for me. just because it had some good comedic stuff, but I won't go back to it. Eric, what's your popcorn rating for Venom Last Dance?
I agree. It's a small bag. I don't ever want to see this movie again. I don't actually. Do I want to go no bag on this? The only redeeming quality I thought on this was Tom Hardy. That's the only part on this. But even so, I felt like a lot of times him and Venom were just too cartoony. It was very like Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan kind of a thing. It was just Rush Hour. It was all these buddy movies that were just like, why?
Okay, well, here you go. Help you out here. A small bag, according to Movie Guys Podcast, is that there are many issues with the film, and that's the reason why it gets a small bag. Not really all that enjoyable, and it was a task to watch. Multiple issues showing and a lack of interest. A small bag could not be given by place. So a small bag is that. No Bag is a movie that really stunk up the room. Not a fun movie to watch at all. No Bag is a bad rating, but there's one more worse. So ultimately, in a nutshell, a small bag. It's not really enjoyable, and it was a task to watch. But there were some redeemable qualities. In a no bag, it just stunk up the room. It was not fun. You were your arms were crossed the entire time.
All right. Well, I did have again some moments in here where Eddie Brock and Venom were enjoyable. I will give them that. So a small bag it is then, because there are so many other parts where it's just like I could just go off. But again, its point has been made. Oh, also, Null was played or voiced by Andy Serkis, who was also in the Black Panther movie. So
what's Black Panther got to do with? Okay, I got you.
We have two actors in this movie who were in a Sony movie associated with Marvel that were already in Marvel movies.
And then the director of this movie has been a part of the Venom franchise since the beginning. She wrote the first two. This is her directorial debut.
Oh, well, good for her.
She wrote, and it's terrible. She has a bad record. She wrote Saving Mr. Banks. She wrote 50 Shades of Grey, Venom. She wrote the story of Cruella, which you and I kind of dug that one a little bit.
I dug Cruella.
She wrote Let There Be Carnage, and she wrote, direct, and produced Venom: Last Dance.
All right.
So, I mean, that's what that is. That concludes our review of Venom: Last Dance. I knew you were not going to be into this one, man, but this was a newer movie that's finally out on Netflix. It came out in October. We needed to finish it up, right? So we did it. But thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Check us out on movieguyspodcast.podbean.com or wherever you get your podcast from. We are on that platform. Eric, thank you so much for joining me. And we'll be back next Thirsty Thursday for Movie Guys Podcast. I don't know. Have a good night.
A lot of fun. We did a lot of 3D movies. So like MGM had like a Muppets 3D movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have like Finding Nemo now. Buddy, I will go on all these rides with you. I just have one question for you.
What's that?
How are you with adult vomit covering your body?
Oh, geez, that's the one thing that I've always wanted.
Because that's what would happen every time.
Yeah, I usually have to pay for that. So if you're to say that I'm getting it for free, then geez,
I'll just be sitting there with you in Tower Terror going, and then just look over at you.
You know what did get me sick though is, so they had like those motion rides.
Oh yeah,
like the Star Wars one, which was really cool. I thought that
simulators.
Motion simulation. Those ones were really cool. I went on those a few times, but there was one I believe at Epcot called Body Wars, where it's same thing where basically you being shrunk and then going into a body, and then motion sensor going through the bloodstream and fighting whatever.
It's like an episode of School Bus.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like that movie Inner Space with Martin Short.
Or Osmosis Jones.
Or Osmosis Jones, all those. And that one got me sick because I believe I liked sitting in the front. I like sitting in the front of roller coasters. I like sitting in front of all the rides. But I believe they like packed us in and I didn't get the option to, so we had to sit in the back. And that one, boy, you get like full like tilt.
Yeah.
And it was not, after a while, it was just like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that happened to me Back to the Future. Yeah, I went right to the trash can, and my dad went, I didn't know this made you sick. I was like 12.
Was Back to the Future a motion simulation?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be cool.
No, it was a terrible story. The ride was a bad story, right? Biff steals the DeLorean, and you get on another DeLorean, and you travel through time to stop him. So you go through all the tropes, But yeah, it's just me. It's been like this since I was a kid. You know what I mean, big guy? Like it's not my thing. I can't do these rides, but I can review Venom. You want to do on that?
Yeah, you ready?
Okay, I'll stop recording. You